to another episode of Sashay Away with Barry. I am your host, Barry, and I am here to talk to you about the final episode of RuPaul's Drag Race UK, Season 1, Episode 8, Grand Finale. I have some exciting news in case you haven't heard. I am now, in addition to this web series, a podcast. Woohoo! Yes, it's true. I have been toying with the idea for a while now of converting this to a podcast, and it happened last week. I did a test one, and it seemed to go okay. So not many people listened to it because I didn't really publish it anywhere, but it is out there now. And so you can either watch me and see all of this beauty live, not live, on video, or you can listen to the podcast, or if you want, you can do both. No matter what, you should subscribe to all of them. You should, I can't speak, subscribe here. That way, every time I do create a new video, you will be able to see it. It'll show up in your feed that I have a new video out. And also subscribe to my podcast, because that's how people hear about it. The more people subscribe to it, the more people like it, the more people share it, the more people comment on it, the more it's publicized, and that is all I can say about that. So you can check it out. It is being done through Anchor. It is an app. It is a podcasting app that you can download. You can listen to it on Anchor. And what Anchor does is that I just download it to them, and then they shoot it out to all the other podcasting networks. I don't really know what they're called. Apps, I guess, because that's usually how you watch them through an app. And so far, they are available on the Anchor app, as well as Spotify, Breaker, and the brand new Google Podcast, which I believe is only available on Androids. I am working on getting it onto Apple Podcasts, which is obviously the big one. It takes about 2 weeks, I was told, and so we are just kind of in the waiting period. So hopefully it will pop up there sometime next week, and we will be good to go. But right now, that's where we're at. There are some other ones that are out there that are still pending. I think they distribute it out to like 7 different podcasting apps or networks, however that works. I am not the most tech-savvy person, so I don't really know how that works, but you can check it out there. You will miss all the visuals if you just listen to the podcast. But as an avid podcast listener myself, I know it is much easier to sit at my desk at work and listen to a podcast, or sit in a car if you're driving and listen to a podcast, than to sit down and watch a video. Especially sometimes they get kind of long, and you might lose interest in looking at my face. But listening to it, you might like it even more. So check it out. There will be links below to all the different places where you can find it, and all my social medias as well. But we are here to talk about our last episode of RuPaul's Drag Race UK. It has been a great season. If you've been following along so far on my videos, you know that I've really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to raise my cup of tea. We've been drinking tea all season long in honor of the queens from the UK. I'm gonna take a sip right now and say, well done, ladies. I had a great time watching this season. I am wearing my non-deconstructed Union Jack t-shirt and a lovely red fascinator in honor of the queens of the UK. So here we go. Let's get right into it. Anyway, let me go back to this. If you're actually just listening on the podcast, we'll do the reverse. If you're listening on the podcast and you want to watch the videos, you can find them on YouTube. You can search either my username, which is bhbrown13, that's BHBROWN13, or you can also search Sashay Away with Barry on YouTube, and all of my videos will come up. If you search bhbrown13, they should come up in order, in reverse order, I believe. And so you can pick and choose how you want to watch them. There are lots of contents. I think I looked at it today and I have like 153 videos. So you got a lot to catch up on. Some of them are performance videos, not of me, obviously, of queens that I've seen, of Drag Race shows. That's about it. But there is some good stuff out there. So go and enjoy it. And subscribe. Like I said, subscribe. The one and only. You can be like Miss Shangela Laquiva Wadley, who is a subscriber to this YouTube channel, and I adore her. And she subscribed one night, and I got the email that she subscribed, and I will never delete it. So if you want to see it, maybe I'll post it on here. Who knows? Anyway, let's get on to the show. Actually, I have a lot of notes that I've taken. So let's start with announcements. DragCon LA is happening May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in LA, obviously. That is in addition to DragCon UK, which is happening in January. But LA tickets are going on sale on Black Friday. That is this Friday. I believe it's the 29th. And they're having Black Friday sale prices. I think if you get VIP, it's $50 off. There are different tiers, so it's different amounts that you get off. I think if you just do a day ticket, which I think is like $40, you get $10 off. It's something like that. So if you're interested in going to DragCon LA, you should check it out. Sorry, I need another sip of my tea. I am planning to go to DragCon LA this year and skip DragCon New York City, even though it is in my backyard, because I've gone to DragCon New York City for the last 3 years, and I'm ready to go back to LA, because I went 3 years ago to LA. So I think I'm going to be going back there this year, and maybe doing some podcasting from the floor. So if you're there and you find me, we could do a little interview. You could be on my video, you could be on my podcast. It's all amazing things. But we will see what happens. That's the way it is. RuPaul is on the cover of Vanity Fair for the January issue. She looks stunning. I don't know how much photoshopping was done on this, but she looks fantastic on it. It is all about her kind of taking over the world, basically. I haven't read the article yet because I haven't gotten my copy, but it looks like a great issue. And she looks amazing on it. So there is that. Also, AJ and the Queen has set its premiere date, which is January 10th on Netflix. I'm assuming it's just going to be one of those streamable shows where you can stream everything. Sorry, while I pick this off my head. That's my fascinator. Everyone who's not watching it is sliding down the side of my face. Anyway, AJ and the Queen on January 10th. I don't know if it's going to be all released at once as a streaming thing or released episodic, how they have started to do things now. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. But January 10th, we'll be back here to talk about it, I'm sure. If you play along in my Instagram story, Tooting and Booting and Voting, we had our winners from last week. The winners of the makeover challenge was Divina Campo and her sister. They had 100% toots, which is a rare thing that happens, but way to go. And our bottom boot was Miss Baga Chipz. Sorry, girl, but you were a mess. And that's the way it is. We also voted on who we wanted to win, either Team Divina, Baga, or the Vivian, and it was a resounding win for Divina Campo with 86%. There were only a couple votes for the other queens. So that's who's won the polls. If you want to play along, we do Toot and Boot the Looks every week. That happens on Mondays usually, but it may be late this week because I am having a hard time finding pictures. The photos that you're going to see, if you're watching the video later, are from that I literally just snapped off of my iPad. They are not the professional shots that usually come out. I haven't seen them yet. I think they're waiting for the Raja and Raven Toots and Boots to come out, and that's when they usually release them, and that hasn't happened yet, so the photos haven't come out yet. So we are waiting on that, and I am waiting on that as long as I can before I put it up on my Insta story. But my Instagram is therealbarrybrown, Therealbarrybrown. It is open. Feel free to follow me, and then you will know when the Insta stories happen, because it's usually what I post. And like I said, they usually come out on Mondays. This week they might be late. Time will tell. Depends when I get my photos. And finally, if you watch this on the Wow Presents app, Wow Presents Plus app, I always forget what it's called, you got a little sneak preview of a 3-episode show by Miss Alyssa Edwards called Alyssa Edwards Raw. I haven't watched the first episode yet. I did see that it popped up on my World of Wonder Presents Plus app. But I haven't watched it yet. We got a little premiere of it. So enjoy. If you have the World of Wonder app, watch it. I suggest everyone watch it. She's a great entertainer. I know a lot of people hated her Dancing Queen show. I particularly enjoyed it because I kind of knew that's what it was going to be. So I think it's 3 episodes. Just watch it. Maybe we'll talk about it here if I can find someone to talk about it with. We'll see. But let's get into this episode because that's really why we're here. We lost the one and only Cheryl Hole last week. I know that it was her time to go, but she did not deserve to go this week. Not that she won the lip sync. She should not have been in the bottom 2. But I know this is about TV. This is not about right and wrong. And we will find that out later as well. But Cheryl is gone. And the girls are talking, and Baga said, to win a lip sync really feels amazing because you proved to yourself that you'd be here. And Divina says, I guess I won't know what that feels like. Because she's never been in the bottom 2. I know we're not really talking about foreshadowing, but this was foreshadowing because she still isn't going to know what it's like to win a lip sync at the end of this episode. And that was wrong. Viv thinks her drag is more polished than the other girls, and we realize that, we don't realize this, we all know this, but I'm sure someone told them to tell them, it's the top 3 with 3 badges each, so everyone is equal. Okay. Not really, because Davina never lip-synced, and the other 2 both did. So you can judge it on that if you want. And there were a lot of duplicate badges. Like, Baga Chipz won 2 group things. She won for Snatch Game along with the Vivian, and she won the girl group with Divina in blue. So she only really won 1 on her own. Let's just put that out there. Anyway, so we're going to have a challenge that is all singing, all dancing performance of Rocket to the Moon, which you heard at the beginning of this episode. And you're going to hear some more snippets throughout the episode as we go on. I didn't know this song name was Rocket. When she said Rocket to the Moon, and she's like, y'all know that song? And I was like, no. And then the girl sang it, and I was like, oh, of course, that's it. I guess she says rocket in it. I don't know. I never really listened to the lyrics. We'll have to see when we go on. But they are going to have to compose a solo verse and learn the most demanding and far out choreography of the season. They're going to work with AJ Pritchard from Strictly Come Dancing. It's a British show. I don't know it. I mean, it's like Dancing with the Stars here in the United States. But I don't know who this AJ is. He's adorable. And his little brother is going to be helping him. And all 3 queens get to appear on RuPaul and Michelle Visage's podcast, What's the Tea? I don't know why we waste our time with this. It's really just so they can talk to them, because these episodes never air. I don't know why they don't air. If you're really in there recording it, it's done. I know they're not really plugged in. They're just sitting there talking. But it seems like a waste to even do it and not put it out there for the masses to see. I did see online people were asking why they haven't shown up yet. They're never going to. They do this every season, and we never see them again. It's gone. Gone. Baga decides she's going to go serious with her lyrics and not be funny, because she wants to show that she can be a serious person, and she wants to have a message. When we listened to her lyrics, I couldn't find a message, but it wasn't funny either. Viv wants stuff that she can listen to when she's out in the club, so she's going to do her lyrics based on that. And Vivian knows that she has to smash this performance because she fucked up the girl group challenge, which is basically this part 2 of it. So she knows that she needs to step it up. And Davina says that she knows that they know that she can sing and dance, so she has to show them something else as well. I don't know what else that is, but she's gonna try, and that's all she can do. So we get to the girl. I'm not gonna talk much about this what's the tea thing, because it vaporizes, but we're just gonna go through it quickly. Baga talked about the troubles with her mom. She said that she's spoken to her about 7 times in the last 10 years because she was raised by her nan. It kind of sounds like she was turned out from her home, but not entirely, because they said it was a mutual thing. Her mom had a new partner and she had other kids. And for some reason, Baga was the only one that had to leave. So I think there's still more to this story that we're not getting. But that was what she shared with us, and that she started using comedy as a defense mechanism, and then she got a hug from RuPaul. Yeah. All right, we're fixing this fascinator once again, kids, because I'm just putting it at the top of my head now because it just keeps sliding down because I keep looking down to read my notes, and it's sliding. I think we're good now. All right. Divina on What's the Tea decides to share that she lets the other girls get him to her head. She wants everything she does to be perfect because she thinks it's insulting to her fans and her audience if it's not. So she doesn't want to put crap out there. And to me, that's not a flaw. That is a great thing. You should always strive for that. But you should also know that life is not perfect. So things are going to go wrong. But she says that sets her up to fail. And she doesn't like to fail. She is done giving the others / Vivian the power over her and wanting their validation. She is just there to prove who she is and what she does. And I say, Davina Campo, you can do it all. You are still my favorite from the season, and I love you. The Viv on What's the Tea talked about her addiction some more. But first, RuPaul tries out some more accents. She should never do this. I always tell people on here, I don't do accents. I would do an accent and it would be disgusting, so I just don't do them. RuPaul should take a lesson from that. But Vivian goes through her addiction again. We hear some stories. I'm going to talk about Vivian at the end because I have some crap to lay out just because I want to get it off my chest. And she says that the top 3 are all common as muck, but she knows how to put herself together better. So she just be a little shady bitch. That's who she is. I don't think she thinks she is, but she really is. Or she just knows how to play the game. And that is What's the Tea. Sorry, you're never going to hear it if you didn't watch it. It'll be on Logo this Friday. Enjoy. I don't know what gets cut out. I haven't watched it on Logo yet. The choreography with the little pocket gay AJ. Divina shows them that she can do a split and that no one else can do anything. This choreography is really hard. They are making them work. Not the choruses that are all the same, but the individual parts where they have to do their own little dances, they're not easy. But we'll talk about that once the dances happen. We get some hot dance partners in Callum, Jordan, and Cade. They were all dreamy. They were not the Brit crew. They could have been because some of them are dancers, but maybe not this type of dancing. Baga gets tangos, and it is a lot of lifts and footwork. Divina gets cha-cha, and the little gay calls it cha-cha-cha. And it is a lot of acrobatics going on. She is barely on the floor. And the Viv gets the samba, or samba, as they say over there. And she just keeps messing up. She kept getting corrected and saying, nope, it's wrong, do it again. I think AJ just wanted to be a sassy little bitch on the show. I don't watch the Strictly show. Maybe he's sassy on there too, but he was a sassy little gay. And it reminded me of Todrick Hall from the United States, and that did not make me happy because I don't like Todrick on Drag Race. He's got a little too much attitude, and apparently doesn't pay people. But we won't get into that. Let's start with Ms. I'm trying to think if I want to go to the brand. No, let's go to the songs, the performances. So here is where you're gonna get a little treat. If you're listening, and you're obviously listening, if you're watching, it's just gonna be me sitting here while we listen to this, and then If I can find it, we will play it. We're going to listen to each verse, and you can just hear what they say, and then we'll talk about it. This is Baga Chipz.
Dancing the night away. Listen to nobody else. Non-binary, lesbian, yourself. Hetero, bisexual, trans, or gay.
I guess that was her political message.
So let yourself free. Baby, trust me and you will see. Guess what, bitches? Baga Chipz is top free.
That was Baga. That's it. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it was Baga Chipz doing her song. The lyrics weren't great. She has a really good voice, though. I mean, I will say all three of these queens can actually sing, which makes me happy. But the lyrics, they made no sense to me. She said it was going to have a message. And basically she said, whether you're hetero, lesbian, trans, or gay, it doesn't matter because Baga Chipz is top 3, something like that. That's really all I got out of it. It makes zero sense, and I guess these things don't really have to. But then she does her dance, and it is terrible. It was really bad. Poor Baga. I don't know what to say about it. It's just bad. She made funny faces, and it was entertaining. So I guess that is part of it. So she was showing herself, which she needed to do. But it was so weird. I mean, when they lifted her, I don't know why they were doing lifts with her. She didn't have the body. Not that she's fat. It's just that her body is awkward and can't really do much. Yeah, it was weird. Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna step on to the next one. All right, next up is Miss Divina de Campo.
Sit your corset back and strap in. It's your time to fly, so let's all begin. Open your heart, spread your wings, and you'll see. If you trust and believe, you can set yourself free. Ignore the rest, plot your course and stay true. Turn your keys down the fire. You can fly, fly, fly to the moon.
All right. I'm not mad at this verse. It's actually really good. Davina has a great voice, obviously. She can sing. The song made sense. It was about flying. We're talking about Rocket to the Moon. It had flying in there, but about also letting herself fly and not listening to other people. So it told her story as well as the story of the song. It was done really well. Her dancing is fantastic. I know later the judges say it wasn't really dancing, it was more acrobatic, but that's the choreography they gave her. She didn't make it up. They did it. They gave it to her. And girl was barely on the floor. They just kept lifting her up and throwing her around and making her do flips and doing fucking moving splits on the floor. It was killer. She did a great job, and you couldn't ask for anything better. That's it. That's it for Divina de Campo. Let's move on. All right, finally, we have Miss the Vivian. You love that? We have the Vivian with her verse, so here we go.
The Viv calling everyone. You know I'm the number one. Snatching trophies, 3, 2, I'll be your queen all night. Raining in every land. Come on now, take my hand. Let's lift up to the sky. I wanna take you higher. Everybody look up to the night sky. I wanna take you to the moon.
All right, it's good. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't good, because it was. I enjoyed it. Again, she can sing. The verse was fine. It started out talking about her and how she obviously is the winner, and then said, looking up at the night sky to take it back, to the moon. It worked. It wasn't bad. I am not gonna fault her. Her dancing, however, I am gonna fault, because it wasn't great. It might have been the worst. And the judges kept praising her for it. And I'm like, because she sold it with her face? No. Dancing, you have to sell with your body first and your face. It was bad. And she had the easiest choreography. I don't know if they were told that, she can't do nothing, so don't give her anything. Meanwhile, you have fucking Baga Chipz being lifted up and she can't dance either, and you have her like flailing around because she's not a dancer. But have her in the air. It was stupid. Rigomoris all over again. Let me go back to what they're wearing. Let me go back. Overall, it was fun. And Ru couldn't stop laughing, so she was having a good time. So great. They did their jobs. But these bodysuits, can we talk about them? They showed pictures before the episode aired, and I didn't really know what it was for. I eventually figured out that it was for the challenge. But they came out in these sequence, fringy bodysuits. When we just had poor Cheryl Holt go home for wearing a sequin fringe bodysuit that looked a hell of a lot better than these three pieces of crap. And why were Divina and the Vivian in blue and Baga in gold? Were they told to bring their own? It makes no sense. And not Divina's, the Vivians had this giant cutout in the middle, which was so weird. These bodysuits were awful. And Michelle praised them, even though she said she hates a bodysuit. I don't understand it. Fucking Michelle Visage. I'm not a fan. You all know that if you've listened to me before. I'm not a fan, and she just made me angry this whole episode because she said some very, very stupid things that I think she was told to say, whether she believes it or not. And that's all that I'm going to say about that. Let's watch the runway right now.
To the moon.
I'm back. That was our runway. I hope you enjoyed it. If you watched it, if you're listening, you didn't see anything, but you did get to hear more of the songs, so I guess that's exciting. But it was a runway, and we're gonna start with the one and only Miss RuPaul, who apparently modeled this look after the Gherkin building in London, which I don't know what that is, but I did see a picture of it, and it makes sense. It is a gold column gown that is gorgeously fitting her with that slit so high up it was really high, but it must have been taped in place because we did not see her vagina at all. And then she has this like column hair on, which I don't mind. It makes sense when you look at the Gherkin building because it's kind of the shape of the building. But it's like one of those hair loafs that the pageant queens put on. Overall, she looks stunning. It is beautiful. I actually love the gown. I love that it's simple. And it really works for her. We got bonus runways because all the girls are here, so we're gonna start with Miss Gothy Kendall. She's basically wearing a negligee. With some pasties and a panty, but I love her wig and her face. I think it's great. It's a very sheer negligee with some feathers. I didn't give my Miss RuPaul a toot, and I will. That was for RuPaul. Gothy Kendall, because she looks good, I'm gonna give her a toot as well. Even though I don't love this dress, because it's not really a dress, it's lingerie, but it's a toot. Next is Miss Scaredy Cat, and I don't like Scaredy Cat. What I don't like about Scaredy Cat is her makeup. The dress is actually cute. I love the giant bows on her shoes and on the back. This thing on her head, when you watch the episode, you see it up close. It is a cat like wrapped in ribbons attached to her head, and I hate it. Normally, any headpiece I will love. This one I do not like. And I know she loves pink, but this entire look is pink. It's basically monochromatic, and she broke it up with the pink bows, which are just a darker shade of pink. For those of you who like Steel Magnolias, it's Blush and Bashful, except it's Blush and Fuchsia. It's a boot. Sorry, Scaredy. Didn't like it. Next is the one and only Vinegar Strokes. And this is the best she's ever looked. I love this little finger wave wig on her. Her bodysuit is not the most flattering, and when she tries to step over those lights, it was rather unfortunate what we saw, but it was there. But I love this little cape dress thing in all of this tulle and fabric. It is lovely. Vinegar Strokes, for the first time in Drag Race UK herstory, I am giving you a toot.
Yes, girl.
It's the first time. She's been booted every other time, and I think she looks amazing in this dress. Next, we have Something Wong. And something is Wong. And it's this outfit. She is also trying to do like kimono lingerie. We see her garters, we see her bra, we see this wig that she loves with the high pony on it. There's like a piece of faux fur wrapped around her. It's a boot. Sorry, girl. Miss Crystal. She is in some mint green, also like a lingerie robe piece, over a latex mini dress. The best thing about this look is her wig, which was just a mess, and I lived for it. It was so chopped up and cut. But her look is a boot. It makes me sad to say that because she's one of my favorites. But this look was awful. Miss Blue Hydrangea. She came out in blue. Surprise! It's a weird little dress that when it was standing still, which wasn't very often because she likes to move, it was open in the front and you could see the hoop part underneath it. I thought it was really cute that she left that open. I hate the sleeves on this. I love the gloves. I love her hair. I love her face. I love the jewels. The only thing I don't like is the sleeves. But I'm gonna give it a toot because I really like this. The sleeves are just too big.
Yes, queen.
And finally, in our non-competitive queens, we have Miss Cheryl Hole, who came out in a full-on, like, boa bodysuit that had a little reveal. And this is my favorite look that Cheryl has worn because it looks expensive. It has great beading on it. Her face looks great. Her hair looks great. She's wearing a good shoe. I love all the feathers. It is complete drag. She is ready to do a dance for us, and I live for it.
LMG, yes!
Now on to our competitors. Miss Baga Chipz, wearing this mint green gown that is so ugly. It's so bad. The best thing about her look is her hair, and it is Cheryl Hole's hair that she left for her. And unlike RuPaul, she also has this giant slit, but when she walks, you can see her panties underneath it. She did not hold it together with some tape. It's just a little too high, and you can kind of see everything when she walks. But I love the wig. I hate the dress. Boot. Miss Davina to Campo in her deconstructed Union Jack flag. The dress is perfection. It is so beautiful. It fits her so well. It literally kisses the floor at the exact point that it should. I love the beads at her neck. I love everything about this. I wish it was a different wig. And I know red is her signature. And red actually goes with it, but I kind of wish it was a short red wig. There's too much hair, which for a drag queen is rare that I say that, but it's too much. I wanted it pulled, or just like pulled up in an updo even, just because the dress is so beautiful and the jewels around it are lovely, that I want to see that and not her hair hanging over it. But it's a giant toot for me. I loved it. Loved, loved, loved this look. Last up is the Vivienne, and she is in like this peachy, beige, sparkly diamond dress, enormous hair, beautiful face. I don't love this dress. To me, it's predictable. It's what you would wear, and it's like an inch too long. She had to hold it up every time she walked. And I've been in dresses like that. I know sometimes it has to be done. You're gonna trip otherwise. But it kind of made me think maybe she's wearing flats. You never actually see her feet. I'm looking at a picture and that's most you get of her feet, and I can't really tell what kind of shoe it is. But because it was hanging so low, I kind of feel like it was a flat shoe. And if she had that little bit of a heel, it would have kissed the floor like Davina's did. Instead, it pooled on the floor, and she literally had to hold it up every time she moved, even during the lip sync, even during the crowning, and it bothered me. But the look, I have to give it a toot. I mean, it's a beautiful dress. It does wash her out because it is the same color as her skin. It doesn't look like Nudelution. It just looks like it blends right into her skin. But this wig is everything. This is wig. This is big hair that you love. And it works on this. So she gets it too.
Yes, girl.
And those are the looks of the runway. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna talk about what they talked about in their little flashbacks to their children. I'm just going to talk about the pictures we saw. We got 3-year-old Mark for Baga. So this is the first time we're hearing their boy names, which I thought was very interesting. So Baga's name is Mark. She was a very cute little 3-year-old. Davina's was also a 3-year-old picture of Owen. I love that name. It totally makes sense for Divina as a boy. So Owen, way to go. And finally, we get a 7-year-old James for Vivian. We knew James's name because his mother kept saying it. Yeah, it was weird. None of the other family members said the boy names except for James's mom. But we got 7-year-old James. Adorable. Love it. I don't care what they said. I don't enjoy these any year. Anytime they do them. That's just me. I just don't like it. They talk about why they should win, and the only thing I'm going to point out here... Oh, no, I'm going to point out 2 things. Baga says that the other 2 should win, not her. Great. Davina says that she was consistently good, and points of the show, she was incredible. And with her, you're going to get a kindness and a softness for the crown. And I agree with that. The Vivian says that she has shown them that she is a great performer, she has a likability and humbleness, and can relate to common people. Remember those words, because we're going to talk about them at the end. I told you we're going to talk about them at the end. But my favorite thing was when she said humbleness and likability, they flashed to Divina, who made the craziest face. It was really funny. And it was very shady as well. That's the way it goes. During the judging, I'm only going to point out a couple things. One is that Michelle hated that Baga said the other 2 should win. Graham tried to correct her and say, well, that's kind of the British way. We don't really talk about ourselves that way. And it's, that's the way it is. And Michelle was having none of it because Michelle thinks she is British. And she thinks she is always right. And this is one of the main reasons I don't like her, because she thinks she defines what drag is. And first of all, Michelle, you are not a drag queen as much as you try to be. You're not. That's the way it is. And I know that you're there as the mouth of the producers and you have to say what they want you to say, or otherwise you wouldn't be there. You got the job because you're Rue's best friend. And great. She also had some problems on Strictly Come Dancing this last few weeks, and had said some not so nice things about it, and is pissed that she doesn't get to go on tour with them. You're not gonna make any money, girl. Sorry. Sorry, I'm sipping my tea for those of you just listening. Michelle also said that when they moved on to Davina, She said that Davina made some questionable fashion choices during the season. And I, for the life of me, can't figure out a single one because every look she turned out was fantastic. Her looks are what saved her. There was a week she was in the bottom 3 and her look was so fantastic that they couldn't put her in the bottom 2. Yeah, that's the way it is. Her looks were phenomenal and you just have to say something bad about her because you don't want her to win. And that is it. Because then we move on to the Viv, and they basically told her she won already. I mean, they said she was perfection. Michelle's words were perfection. And that she was going to leave very happy today. Okay, so Vivian won. Great, we know. Anyway, the girls come back, and we find out that Baga Chipz is 3rd place. She did not move on, and Divina and the Vivian will be lip-syncing for their life to Wham's I'm Your Man. This is a terrible song to choose, especially for the final lip-sync. It makes 0 sense to me at all. First of all, they're both in gowns. They're not going to be able to do much. Davina can't do any of her tricks because she's in a gown. The Vivian does show us that she can do one trick, and that is sliding on her knees, but we barely got it because she marched all the way to the back of the stage and was there for literally like 30 seconds because Divina was standing in the center of the stage and she couldn't come and slide because she would have knocked her off the stage. So she just literally stood back there. Couldn't tell if she was lip syncing because it wasn't focused on her. Who knows? She may have just been standing back there picking her nose. It's hard to say, but this song was terrible. Terrible choice. The lip sync wasn't great, especially for being the finale. Not that the song was bad for being the finale. The lip sync was meh for being in the finale. They both knew the words. They both moved around. And that's all you can really say. And I don't think that the Vivian won that lip sync. But she is the UK's first drag superstar because RuPaul crowned her. Basically, they told us that a couple minutes before, and we just weren't listening. And so they always give the queen a chance to speak, and she decides to do her Trump impersonation rather than speaking from the heart. So there you go. That's what you get. And you know why you get that? Because of her prize. Her prize is a web series with the World of Wonder producers in Hollywood. And guess what? It's called Morning TNT, which is Baga Chipz as Margaret Thatcher and the Vivian as Donald Trump. Did Baga Chipz win? Why is she going to be a part of this prize? Why isn't Divina part of the prize? If they're going to put the 2 of them on, why not all 3? Or why not just the top 2? It makes 0 sense. Basically, they fucked Divina over. They said, you can be in top 2, you're not going to win, and the other 2 are going to get a show, and you're not. But we've been hearing that they want this show from the beginning of the season. Once Snatch Game happened, they're like, that's the show happening right there. We'll all watch it. And now we will, because it is going to air sometime in December. Well, weird. The preview they did, they said coming in 2020, and then said in December. So I don't know if it's really coming in December or if it's not coming till January or if it's not coming till December 2020. Who knows? We'll just wait and see. But it is coming soon. We saw some clips, so it's obviously done. I'm not excited about it. I think them doing Snatch Game as those characters are great, but I can't see a show like that happening. It looks kind of stupid. Just say that. On the other side of it, Divina doesn't need a show because she has an album coming out, and you can pre-order it right now. It comes out next Thursday, I believe. But you can pre-order it now on iTunes or wherever you get music. I don't know. I got it on iTunes. That's how I know. But I did pre-order it. And there is a song out already that you can listen to called A Drag Race Song, I believe. And it's about her journey on Drag Race and how everyone puts a song out. And she throws some shade. She specifically says that Michelle doesn't like her in the song. And it made me laugh. So go take a listen to that song and pre-order her album because we need to make sure it's out there. All right, I told you we're going to talk about the Vivian. The Vivian won, and great. I'm not saying she didn't deserve to win. I preferred Divina to Campo. I think the world preferred Divina to Campo as well, but that's just my opinion. Everyone has one. But I'm going to talk about the Vivian being just a big fat liar, kind of this whole season. Starting with the fact that she said that she was 26 when this filmed, which would make her 27 now. Great. It's hard to believe. You look a little older. I know you've had a lot of plastic surgery, so maybe that's part of it. I know you used to be a drug addict, so that also, hard living will age you. Great. Here's where I have a problem. So you're 26, and you say that you've been doing drag for 11 years. You said it on the show, 11 years. That means you started when you're 15. Maybe you did. I'm not going to say you didn't. It's just a little hard to believe that that's really true. So yeah, I'm questioning her age, and I'm calling her a liar. She also said that she had done drugs for 4 years, on and off for 4 years, and has been clean for 2. Congratulations, that is an amazing feat. I'm not going to discredit that. But she did win that drag ambassadorship 4 years ago from RuPaul. So she was on the drugs then. That kind of don't make sense. And if so, way to go, RuPaul, for picking her. You had a drug addict as your ambassador to the UK. Okay, just saying. And then in her speech, she talked about being able to relate to the common people because she is one of them. But girl, you already told us you went to private school. We know you did, so your family is not common. They got some money. They were also very supportive of you, even though you say that you're best friends with your mom, but you didn't tell them that you went to rehab, which you also went to rehab in France. You didn't even go to rehab in the UK. So there's some money floating around somewhere that's paying for all this. So I'm not sure you're as common as you want to say. And then when she said that she is humble, we all saw Davina's face when she said that, but we all know that it is not true. She has done nothing but brag about herself on this show. Again, I'm not saying she's a bad choice. I'm not saying she's even a bad person. I'm saying humble is not really the word that I would use to describe the Vivian. So that's why I'm calling her a liar. I'm calling her out right now. You can agree or disagree with me. You can hate me. You can send me hate mail. I don't care. But that's just how I feel. It was just weird. And it's all in the editing. But they show you what they want. And that was a lot of contradictions on her part. That's all I'm saying. Lies. Just lies. Okay, we're going to wrap things up. I want to thank you all for joining me for another episode of Sashay Away with Barry. I am just about done with my tea. I'm going to take one last drink right now, and then I'm going to give you my socials and get out of here. It was delicious. So you can follow me on the Instagram, I said before, at therealbarrybrown, therealbarrybrown. That is on Instagram. It's open. You can follow me. I post some drag stuff on there. I post a lot of personal stuff. When I dress up in my pseudo drag, I put it on there. I usually throw a photo of myself in there. I did the 10-year challenge of drag as well. And these were literally just costumes that I've worn. They were not for anything special. And you can see the difference for me in 10 years. I look younger now than I did then. I will say that. And that is not photoshopping. And that is not injectable. See, I got nothing in here, so I got all wrinkles. It is all me. I just look beautifully young. That's all. My Twitter and Facebook are the same. They are BHBrown13, BHBROWN13. I don't do much on Twitter. You will see pretty much these videos posted. You'll get postings about the podcast now. And you'll see whenever I enter a Broadway lottery because I post it on there because you get an extra entry for posting it on Twitter. But that's really all I post on Twitter. But feel free to follow me. You can see what I'm going to see on Broadway. I have a Facebook page as well, which is called RuPaul's Drag Race Sashay with Barry. You can find it on there. You can join the group. I post lots and lots of drag-related things on there, not just Drag Race, local drag stuff here, lots of Dragula stuff, stuff from Bushwig, and stuff from when I go around the country to see drag queens. So you can see a lot of stuff on there, and all the crazy memes I repost on there as well, which are really, really funny. And like I said, I have a podcast now. If you're watching this, I have a podcast. It is called Sashay Away with Barry on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, and Google Podcast, and hopefully Apple Podcasts very, very soon. So go subscribe, like, leave comments. I do read the comments, whether they are good or bad. You can rate and review me on there. You can do whatever you want. Send me messages. It's all there available for you. And help spread the word. Share it with your friends. Maybe they'll like to see it. Post it on all of your social medias. And that's it. That's all I have for today. I love you all. Thanks for listening. And I will see you next time. Oh, we did have an announcement. Drag Race All-Stars 5 is coming in December. See you then. Bye.